Hello, we will now look at the DICE worksheet or work tool that you will be using. So I'm going to go back into our folder and I'm going to open up the DICE training September 28th worksheet. So this form should look familiar as this is what you were trained to use during the DICE training last month. This is the form you will use when implementing the DICE intervention with caregivers. We would like you to make a copy and submit this sheet or sheets, if you need to use more than one, with your data collection spreadsheet, which I will explain in the next video segment. This information will help in evaluating the process that DICE is being used and can help us to refer to during our consultations with you. There are no right or wrong answers that we are looking for in these forms, and you can complete them with the caregiver however you see fit. Some people may write out more detailed sentences, while others may jot down important notes or words about what was discussed. Both are fine. Having this will be helpful for us to look at when we consult with you, and to guide us on the areas you have worked on with the caregiver, and areas where we can provide some more suggestions or things to think about. So I'm now going to pull up an example of how to complete this form. So first you will see at the top I have put in my name. An example of a professional ID number I gave myself was SW10. Now you have your own professional ID number that was assigned to you at the training last month. We have that number on record, so do not be concerned if you do not have that number. As long as we have your name, we can fill in that number for you. However, the caregiver ID number is something that you will create on your own. It can be any combination of letters or numbers. Here I put CG for caregiver 05. So again, you can use any combination of letters or numbers, and that caregiver ID number will always be linked to your professional ID number. It is important to note that you create a different ID number for each caregiver you are working with. Next, you will see down here, I filled in some brief information as an example based on a case I had worked with in the past. So in the description part, I put in, and this was based on the wife's information, that the spouse was acting different, uncomfortable. He was not verbally or physically aggressive. His behaviors were, he was pulling at his clothes, removing his clothes. It started about a week ago, and that this is a new behavior. Down here for the investigate part, as I talked with the spouse some more, or the wife, we discussed the possible factors that could have been causing it. So we looked at medications, which she denied there were any new medication changes. There were no diet changes. The wife informed me that she was pretty certain it had something to do with his clothes, and he was acting like the tags were itching, so she removed the tags. However, this yielded no positive results. We further discussed their routine and any possible changes. So at this point I asked about, are these new clothes? Is the material different? As the wife thought about it, she realized in the last week she used a new detergent. So our plan was pretty simple. Go back to the original detergent and rewash the clothes. We evaluated this plan. The wife rewashed all of the spouse's clothes in the original detergent, and fortunately, the behaviors subsided. So as you can see in this example, it is a simple, non-complex situation where DICE was used before it became a bigger issue. Had I or you or the caregiver not gone through these steps to address the issues of the care recipient, he may have become more agitated. He may have developed a rash because of that detergent. He could have started scratching his skin, causing tears or possibly an infection. Or the wife could have taken him to the doctor right away, where maybe the doctor thought, he seems anxious, let's try an anti-anxiety medication. which in this case would have been unnecessary since the cause was simply determined to be the detergent. So again, that's a brief, simple example, and one where we would like you to use simple situations when you first start implementing DICE. So again, you will use this form for each caregiver that you are working with, and for each of these forms, please submit a copy to us and you will keep the original. In the next video, we will look at the data collection information. I will see you in video number 5.